All right, you ready to do jiu-jitsu with me? Yeah. All right, we're gonna get started. Just turn down my music a little bit. All right, so this is a workout we've done before. It's just gonna be jiu-jitsu solo drills. Be a minute a piece for each thing that we do. Obviously modify accordingly, especially if you can't, jump or slam down. Take it slow. So just remember, you can go for speed to increase your heart rate, or you can go slowly to control. And Kent will be motivating us along the way. All right, let's start. We're going to start with sprawl drills. Got my timer. 1 minute. Go. Going slow. So your hands are going to go to the ground. You push your hips back, and you're going to be up. Yeah, good job. Somebody shoot for that double leg, and you're sprawling. Mama, look, he's doing jiu-jitsu. Good. Keep going. Keep going. We got a whole minute. Let's not slam our knees. That'll add up. Good. Good. Keep going at your pace. Either slow and controlled, or get some speed behind it. Can't say keep going. Say keep going. Keep going. Keep going. A couple more seconds. Time. All right. Next one. From like our leg drill. Lead foot. You're going to change levels. Changing levels. All right. And then you're going to switch. And just changing levels. Just like from our leg workout class. Let's do it. Go. All right. Look at me. Look at me. Do that. Do that. Do that. Switch. Do that. Come on. Yeah, we're doing it right now. Come on. Come on. Just changing levels. Getting ready to do that penetrating step, which you'll do on the next round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say 6. Say 7. 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Just changing levels. We're just warming up still. Yeah, you're counting. Keep going. A few more seconds left. Remember that front hand's protecting that lead leg, other hand's protecting that back leg. In wrestling, when you're going to shoot, you're going to use that back hand more than your lead hand. Good time. Now, nice and slow. You're going to change levels, stepping out, go down with your front knee, and do your penetrating step. Simple, nice and slow. Let's go. All right, you got to do it with me. All right, change levels. Front knee, front knee, front knee. Change levels, go like this. Good. So I'm lowering to their legs and stepping my front leg out, and then I'm using my back leg to push my front knee down. After I push my front knee down, my back leg I drag forward, and I'll use it to push me back up. Keep going, keep going. If you want, you can reach, grab, and then go off at an angle. So I'm here, I grab, and I lift and I push them off. Keep going. 15 seconds. Yeah, doing jiu-jitsu. Keep going. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Time. All right, so now we're going to do up and downs. Up and down. Down with my knee. So I go down to my knees, active toes, and I'm just gonna step up with one leg, step up with the other, and then down with that leg, down. Switching back and forth, just up and down. Ready? Go. Okay. Up and down. You've done this, do this. Come on. Yeah, good job. Yep, perfect. Just up and down.
Up and down. Up, up and down. Up and down.
Keep going. We'll let Daniel in. Up and down.
Put it down. Put it down. Put it down.
Keep going, up and down. 30 seconds left.
60 10.
Keep going, up and down.
Up and down.
Up and down.
Mama, I did that. Up and down.
You're doing up and down?
I did that. Up and down.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Time. Say good job. No, tell the camera. Say good job. Thumbs up. Nice. All right, next move. We're going to do our tech get up. So we're going to break fall and then stand up. So I go low, break fall, sit up, my tech get up. Break fall, tech get up. Ready? Go. All right, do it with me. You got to stand right there. I squat down, keep my head from hitting the ground, sit up, back hand, stand. Down, and then stand up, and I'm good. Come on. Scoot over. So I squat down, I break fall, make sure my head doesn't hit the ground, hand behind me, this hand shielding my head or pushed out, lift my hip, leg steps, tech get up. Good job. Come on. Come on. Good job. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Break fall. Sit up. Hand here. Can you let them in? Squat down. Somebody else. Break fall. Sit up. Go. Time. Yeah, say good job. All right, so our next move, we're going to be on our butt. We're going to butt scoot. So notice, leg bent in front of me in this kind of S formation, but this is a 90 degree, and I'm just scooting forward and scooting back. My back hand is what lifts me up so I can go forward. See Kent doing it? Or pushes me back. Switch sides, so you're doing it with your left hand and your right hand, letting your legs switch. Perfect. Ready? Go. Go. Come on, scoop. Good. Good job. You can switch your arms. Come on. And I'm using that back hand just to lift my hip up so I can scoot forward and backwards more efficiently. So it's not me working against friction. I'm actually making space. Good job. Keep going. Yeah, you're doing a really good job. Notice when I go, I keep my front leg in front. I try not to switch my legs like this. I'm keeping that front leg right in place to pull me and to push me. If you don't have the floor for it, you can always modify and do one of our older exercises. Get-ups, air squats, what have you. All right. Time. All right. All right, we're going to do crazy legs. So we're going to be on our back. We're going to do egg beaters with our legs. On your back. On your back. On your back. Ready? Set. Go. Your crazy legs. Yeah, you got it. So I'm just doing that egg beater motion. If I was swimming and treading water, this is a lot of times what you would do. Try to maintain, conserve your energy. But in jiu-jitsu, I'm trying to keep somebody from getting their hands on my gi pants. Say gi. Say pants. Gi pants. Yeah, close. All right, keep going. Make sure your hips are doing the work. Elbows close, hands close. You can start simulating reaching. Otherwise, keep everything close. 17 seconds left. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Time. Good. Wipe off some sweat. Drink a little water. Where's your water? Where's your water? It's over there. Drink some. Oh, yeah. Big chug. Good job. All right. Ready for the next move? On your back. All right. We're going to be on our back again. Now, we're going to have a straight leg. Leg steps over, and then we thread the needle. Thread the needle. Just like that. All right? 1 minute. Let's go. Straight leg. I step over. Thread the needle. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Hey, I hear excuses. Keep going. Step over. Thread that needle. Yeah. We're doing jiu-jitsu. You said you wanted to do it. We're doing it. Come on. Thread that needle. Thread that needle. What are you doing? Get back over here. You gotta work out. Come on. You're my partner. My partner in crime. 19 seconds. You're doing your own thing. Yeah. Almost there. Done. Time. All right. Hip pops. When you roll back, do not roll back on your neck. Roll back on your shoulders and push your hips up. We're not. If you want to do the triangle variant, that's fine, but we're going to do that next. So if you want the extra reps, that's fine. But otherwise, we're going to do just hip pops, and then we'll work into our triangle motion. All right. I set a little buffer time for those who need to watch, by the way, so here we go. Time, let's go. All right, on your back. On your back. Yeah, somebody needs it. What does it say?
Hey, you can do it.
I see that one before.
Okay.
Just push with those hips. Make sure you're not going on your neck. Going on your neck's going to strain you and hurt you. You're resting on your shoulder and then popping those hips. Keep going. Show them how it's done. Show them how it's done. Go. Careful. Time. So it's the same motion. Yeah, time. But now we're going to do triangle. Hey. Now we're doing triangle. Same deal. Popping your hips. Doing a triangle. Kent's super excited. Let's do it. Ready? Go. You're all right. You're all right. Good job. Use your hips. Make sure you get that good triangle lock. Come on. You're supposed to be doing this. You said you wanted to do jujitsu. Make sure you're not landing on your neck. On your shoulders. Time. All right, next move. We're going to do what's called guard tracking. I'm going to be on my back, one leg up, other leg rotating me as if somebody's in front of me and I'm trying to keep them in front of my legs. So this is how it's going to look. I'm on my back, legs like this, and I rotate the side of my legs down. That's the way I'll turn. And when I switch sides, I switch legs. Just tracking with my guard. You can simulate some kicks if you want. Otherwise, I'm just tracking somebody. Ready, set, go.
Set, down.
Elbows close, hands close. If you want to do some kicks, that's fine. Otherwise, you're just tracking that person.
Up or down.
You can kick if you want to. Otherwise, you're just tracking.
I'm messy.
Elbows close, hands close. Kick if you need to. Otherwise, track. "17 seconds to go. Finish strong, keep going, keep going, keep going. Time. All right, we're gonna do some back stepping. So, I'm up. On my hands, active toes. You guys know the deal. I'm gonna lift up my knees, do that scorpion tail, and do that back step. Back and forth. Good control. Whole minute. I'll show you how it looks. We'll have a little buffer time, and then you'll go. So I'm here. Back step. Hand can go up. Back to center. And I'm just back stepping. Go.
Mama.
You doing this with me? Make sure you get a good back step, good balance. Good back step and good balance. If you're falling over, it defeats the purpose. Good back step, good balance. You can hold the position, then go to the center. Do it on the other side. Good, strong control. Time. Grab a drink of water, wipe off your sweat. Kent is laying on a pillow with a blanket. He's exhausted. We burned him out.
Hey, Austin.
Yeah, what's up?
On the one where you're tracking, where would you normally put your hands?
So I usually put my elbows close and my hands close. I mean, you can simulate like trying to reach, but I try to keep this open because my fear is that once they pass my guard and they try to get in, I don't want them to get between my knee and my elbow. So I want to go into that like crit Mickelson defense we showed, where I'm trying to lock my knee and my elbow from keeping them getting side control. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Next one's is going to be our sit-throughs. But we're going to add a twist. You're going to sit through, lay your leg down, and you're going to do an S-sit. So I'll show you. I'm on my hands and my legs. I lift up my leg and my arm on one side, sit through, rest, and now from here, I can do an S-sit. And then I can go back up. And then do my sit through on this side and do my S-sit. Simple. All right, he's done, so he's out. Bye, assistant. All right, ready? Let's do it. Go. Hands and knees, up on my feet. Lift my arm, left hand, right foot. Sit through, rest my hips. And now I'm going to do my S-sit. My back leg comes forward, my front leg goes, rest this leg, turn one back, and so on. And then from here, my S-sit, I can go back to my hands and my feet. Now I can do the sit-through on the other side. Left foot, right hand, sit through, rest my leg, hands up. Back leg, front leg, S-sit. I'm balancing as I transition my S-sit for my sit-through. If you want to work on your sit-through more, that's fine. Just come up, lift, kick. Lift, kick. And you can just sit back and forth. Otherwise, transition, go to that S-sit position, back leg, front leg, drop, and go. Nice. All right, where are we at? We're going to do that same motion. Now, we're going to build up into a crab position at the end. So, we're doing our sit-through, getting to our S-sit, doing some transitions, and then going to our crab position. From there, you can either balance or walk, depending on the room you have, or you can rotate right back into your sit-through position. I know it sounds like a lot, but track with me. I'll show you nice and slow first, and then I'll set the timer. So I'm straight on. I pop up my knees, left hand, right hand goes up, sit through, rest my hip. Arms are up. Back leg goes forward, front leg, that leg goes down, and here. I'm going to go ahead and do one more. Back leg, front leg, that back leg lays, the other one goes down. Now, I'll go back to my center, and now I'm in my crab position, and I lift my hips. Nice little stretch in my front delts. From here, I can lift my legs and arm on either side. I can do that however many times I want to, and then transition back to my start, all right? I'm trying to give us some more advanced moves, not just those one individual ones, more that stream together, so bear with me and we'll get through this. The timer's gonna be a little longer, so watch me and let's get into it. All right, timer's going. Hands forward, on my knees, hop up. Left hand, right hand, foot goes up, left hand, right foot, sit through, rest my hip, S-sit. Back leg goes forward, which lets the weight from my front leg off, that back leg rests, and that front leg goes down. Now my back leg goes straight, my front leg goes forward, I rest this back one, and I go here. Now I'm going to start transitioning my crab. Back leg goes straight, front leg goes straight, feet touch the ground, hands go behind me, I lift, and I'm in my crab position. Now, you do however you want to do this. You can lift your left foot, right hand, then down. Your right foot, left hand, then down. You're just balancing. balancing, and knowing that you have control of that crab position. If you can walk, absolutely start walking, depending on the room you have. After you've done a couple of those, we'll just say left hand, right foot goes back, and I'm back to my start, and now I can go through it again. So this time, left foot goes up, right hand goes up, sit through, rest into my S sit. Back foot, back rest, front rest. Back, next, here, here. I'm gonna go back to that center and go in my crab position. Good strong push of my hips, little stretch of my delts. Now from here, left foot, right hand. Left hand, right foot. And I can just hold it for a minute and know I've got the control and the balance. And then once I've done enough of those, I'll just lift, let's say my left foot, my right hand, and rotate myself back to that bear crawl position. And now I can do motion again. Good. Is everybody keeping up with that? I know it's a little complicated. All right, good. I want to start getting into more flowing moves where we're stringing stuff together that's more indicative of like kind of a mock roll. So we've done it with animal flow drills, but with this one, we're trying to do more individual moves, but I'm trying to put them together so that they, make more cohesive sense, if that makes sense. All right. Let's do some shrimping. So I'm going to be on my back, and I'm just going to shrimp back and forth in place. If you can cover ground, that's fine. Absolutely feel free. Otherwise, just shrimp it in place. Two ways you can do this. I'm on my back, elbows closed. I'm going to go down to my side. My hip doesn't lift the ground, and I just push myself away. I call that the friction shrimp. I just drag my hips against the ground, and I'm making space. The other one is my feet go slightly out. I'm bridging towards the person to make room to lift their elbow to get my clearance, and then shrimping that way. Up to you how you want to do it, all right? If you want to mix it both, that's fine. If you want to stick with one, feel free. I like to do a little bit of both. All right, this is going to be just a minute drill. Let's go. And move. I'm doing my friction shrimp. Now in this one, I'm bridging into them to lift that elbow that's on this side of me, and then shrimping out in that hole I made. I'm bridging into them, and then shrimping into that hole I made. And then I can do my friction shrimps again. Bridge, shrimp. Bridge, shrimp. And I'm pushing my hands out. But in reality, it's more or less me pushing my frames out. When I'm here and I bridge, I'm using my frames, and I'm making sure my frames don't come back with me. I had it against their neck. It's against their neck and against that hip. I've made that space, and I'm maintaining this so that maybe I can reset and bring my guard. So when I bridge with this, I make sure that frame doesn't come back with me. My body moves. I made the space I needed, and now from there I can reset myself to a guard position. Time. Forward shrimp. So sometimes your opponent gets in on this position. Small package. This 90-degree bend in your waist and this leg against your back. So I use Bob, but let's use my bag for a minute. So they're like this on you. With this leg, this is the leg behind, flush with the back. They might even have it out at an angle, but more likely it's like this, and this leg is 90 degrees, holding you in place. So this is why I forward shrimp, and it's a great opportunity to open up a leg attack. They call it the Jock sweep. So I'm here. Guys got me in small package. I go to my side. So I have a leg right here, and they're kind of on my side trying to open up an arm bar possibly. I put this leg out, and I shrimp myself to trip their leg to make them do this. And that'll expose that leg to a possible attack. Or it'll give me space and I'll escape. So forward shrimping. Let's do it. I'm on my hip, my leg goes out, and I pull my body forward. Now I'm on this side. Leg goes out, elbows close, hands close, and I pull my hip forward. I'm here, foot goes out, I push, boom, and pull. I'm using this foot almost like a hand, gripping the ground, and it's pulling me in. My leg goes out, and it's pulling me in. What helps me is I tend to circle this knee out. So as my foot goes, this leg does a little circle over and pulls me to the other side. Now my foot can go out. So they got that 90 degree. I'm trying to do my defense, but their foot's in here. It's between my knee and my elbow. I'm in trouble, right? They can start exposing my arm. Leg goes out, forward shrimp. Leg goes out, forward shrimp. The reason I'm keeping my elbows in is it's just good habit. Are there times when I do that leg attack, I go forward shrimp and I push off of them to then catch that leg into my armpit and attack it. But that's all situational dependent. Time. Good. Now we're gonna do double shrimp to turtle, all right? So we're gonna shrimp twice one direction, go into our turtle position. Now, when you're in turtle, active toes, now a lot of people, they wanna either go seal toes or active toes. The reason I like active toes is because I can pop myself up and I can start to move my hips. If you ever watch Dave Brown, the Turtle Master, common thing. There are times where you'll do seal toes. It's like a different flavor of ice cream. But in this case, we're gonna keep active toes. We're gonna rest on our forehead just a little bit. Don't strain your neck. And we're going to keep our elbows or forearms in the crooks of our legs. We want to get into that concept of not letting people get between our knee and our elbow. This is the big thing I was teaching before we had to go into our time off. I said, once somebody's in between your knee and your elbow, now you're in trouble. That's what exposes everything. So I'm going to keep my forearms in, my elbows in, and I'm going to rest on my head and use my active toes to move me. So double shrimp to this position of turtle, on my forehead, arms inside, active toes. And if I need to move, I can lift and I can move on my toes, all right? If you have not done this, do not strain your neck. If you have done this or you feel comfortable enough, do a couple movements. I will, just for the rep. But yeah, this is how I want to work into it. All right, so 2 shrimps, thread the needle, go to turtle. Ready? Go. Shrimp, shrimp, bottom leg goes through. I turn over and I'm in my turtle position. Active toes, arms in. I can go to my toes and run, go down. Otherwise, I can pop up, do my sit through, reset myself to my shrimp. Shrimp, shrimp, bottom leg goes through. I turn over and I'm in my turtle position. Elbows, arms in. I go up on my head. I walk around. I'm down. Otherwise, I pop up and I can do my sit through. That sit through is just an extra rep. Shrimp, shrimp, bottom leg goes through. My elbows are tight. I go down to my knees, hide those elbows and knees. Don't want them getting that space. And I'm on my head, active toes. And then I can sit through if I want to. So I'm here, shrimp, shrimp, thread the needle on the bottom, go to my turtle position, defend. And if you can't run, time. If you can't run in that position on your head, just get into that shell, as I call it, because it's turtle, right? Go into your turtle shell and just hold there and start to get comfortable being able to defend from there. Turtle's not my favorite position. Self-defense-wise, being in law enforcement, I don't want to actively go to turtle. But if I ever get stuck in turtle, I definitely want to know how to control it so that I can find my way out. That's my sit-through or what have you. And then I can defend myself. Good. All right. We're going to do butterfly. So we're in that seated position that we were in before. 90 degrees bent. And I was doing, my scoot, going forward, going back. Ryan showed this in the solo drills for a butterfly. So let's say, I'll tilt this camera, let's say this is my active hook that gets into the butterfly. From here, I'm getting an underhook under their arm, and I'm trapping their arm on this side. So I'm trying to make it so they can't actively post as I sweep them. So I'm underneath, holding under their lat, and then grabbing that arm. From here, I'm going to tilt over. I'm not going to go sideways. I'm going to go diagonal, and I'm going to extend my hook. Now, I'll get a full extension with this. In reality, when I'm rolling, I'm not going to get it like that. But for this rep, I might as well get the full extension. So I'm here, arm, back. I start to fall diagonally. I'm on my shoulder, not my neck, and there's my butterfly sweep. So I took that hook, and I swept them over. From there, I could either follow them and end up in side control, or follow them and end up in mount. That's not what we're worried about. We're just worried about the mechanics. So, active foot with a hook, arm trapped, underhook on that, under that arm and on that body. And now from here, I'm going to drop diagonal and sweep. And I'm not on my neck, I'm on my shoulder. Make sense? Let's do it. I'll get our timer. And go. So I'm here, get that underhook, grab that arm. You can simulate all this. Good solid hook, drop, extend. If you want to switch sides, that's fine. Active hook. So now I have this underhook trapping the arm here, and now I'm going to drop on this side. And I can switch back and forth pretty seamlessly. But if you're working for perfection, maybe you're here, you scoot it in, under the arm, trap here, and now you're going to drop diagonal, looking for your shoulder as your marker, touch here, and get your extension. And you can go a couple reps there. Boom, extension. Holding on, boom, extension. Boom, extension. Boom, extension. Keep going. For my more advanced people, sometimes you'll go into your butterfly sweep and you'll get here and it won't be working, and you'll actually kick your hip underneath them to change the angle slightly and finish your roll. Time. So when you're doing this move, watch tutorials, hear what people say, and know that these solo drills can be even more than they just are. You might have your base level, and then you can start to add your advanced levels, where you add little nuances that are going to come into your game later on and help you out. Good. All right. So we're going to do a little flow drill, okay? So anybody who's done our animal movement drills, this is going to make sense. You should be familiar with it. If not, feel free to stay with what you know or just follow along to a point. Otherwise, I'll go really slow. So I'm going to start hands and feet, active toes, active arms. I pop up on my knees. I'm just showing you the first rep. Do my scorpion tail, back step, back to center, back step. And you're going to do 2 reps when you do this. So let's say I did my 2. Now I'm here. I'm going to go backwards, rest my weight on my forearms, and go forward into a cobra. And in this cobra pose, I'm going to like wave my body back and then do another rep. So I go forward, cobra, other rep. After I've done my 2 reps there, I'm in my TP position. I'm going to go up on my toes and do a pike press. Then I'm just going to do, just do my 2 reps there, load myself back, and then hop up, balance on my feet. If you're like, whoa, what the heck? Just do your back steps. Just do that cobra. Follow along as best you can. For the people who've done this, this should be familiar, and I want to keep introducing it again and again, where we're able to do these as part of our flow drills, okay? All right, I'm going to set a timer. It's going to be a long timer, so take it slow. I'm going to be going slow. If you know this move and you want to go fast, go fast. All right. Let me get the timer. Let's go. So, on my hands, on my knees, I pop up. I'm going to, from here, do that scorpion tail, and I'm going to back step. I'm going to go back to center. Scorpion tail, back step. Back to center. I'm going to do another rep on both sides. Back step. Back step. That might be it for you. You might stay there, but if you keep up. Now I'm going to load my hips. I'm going to rest my forearms down and let my weight go forward. As my weight goes over my hands, I'm just going to get that bend in my back, that nice little cobra pose. Now I'm going to let my head start to roll and let my whole body go backwards and reload my hips. So this is called the beast stretch. Now, forearms go down, weight goes over my hands, and I'm in my cobra pose. And now I'm going to roll backwards into that beast stretch. Now, that might be all you got. If that is, just keep going. Do it again. Otherwise, I'm going to go into downward dog, teepee position. I'm going to go up on my tippy toes, and I'm going to pike press, push with my shoulders. 1, 2, simple. Then I'm going to go backwards and reload my hips back to that beast pose. Now, I'm going to I'm not going down on my forearms here. I'm going to let my weight go to my hands, and I'm going to hop my legs up and balance. Strong back, open chest. And then I'm going to let my knees touch the ground as my back hand goes here. And I'm stretching. Stretching, looking over. Go back to center, make sure I have my balance. Hand goes back. And it's a good stretch. I can use my hand to help me get back to my knees or use my weight. And there I am. And that's the whole sequence. All right, time. All right, we're going to work on some bear crawls. Our bear crawling will transition into our sit-throughs even better. I've noticed that as I've been working on my bear crawling, it's making my sit-throughs work better because I'm knowing how to use my hands and my feet in the proper order to move. So here I am. Watch me. I'm in my bear crawl position. When my right hand moves, my left foot moves. Anybody who's ever done Eric Preach's class, he has you do a lot of these. Just walking back and forth on the mat, moving your hand and your feet appropriately. The reason being is when I move, it's easy, not impossible to lift one side, but it's easier to move my opposite diagonal control. So when I move forward, right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. Just like that, all the way down. So I don't know how much room you have. If you can cover some ground, absolutely. Go forward, go backwards. If you can't, just move in place. But it's going to be right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. All right? Got our timer set? Let's go. Just walking back and forth. Nice, good. All right, good. So I'm going to unmute the mic, and if there is any position, so I specifically wanted to take time today, if there's any position that you specifically, and don't be shy, any position that you specifically would like some more details on or to go into to troubleshoot, or maybe you even know some little tricks yourself, feel free to ask now. You might not have anything, or you might have something, but I'm interested to hear what you guys, let me unmute you all, interested to hear what you guys would like. I hit mute all. That's cool. Good job, Austin. All right, there we go. Unmute all. Is there any positions you specifically would like more details on?
Yeah, I had a question about sit-throughs.
Sit-throughs? Okay, go ahead.
So, like, if someone is on top of you, like sprawled on top of you, you're in turtle, you pop up, are you sitting through towards them or away from them? That's
a good question. So when I'm here, let's work it through all the way, right? So I was all being super cool. I thought I was awesome. I did my sit. I went to do my double leg, and boom, they hit me, right? They sprawled on me, and they brought me down to the ground, and they kind of forced me into turtle, all right? So I'm here, and I want to get up. Now, when I have an opponent on me, sometimes I can get away with just getting up to my forearms and a little active hands. But otherwise, in this case, just for the drill of it, I'm pushing up on my hands and getting my feet up. When I lift my arm, my right leg comes through and I sit through, I'm going to the side of their body. I'm trying to shoot myself through. And I talked about this when Ryan was on here. I did this in a row with him once. He caught my arm, caught my leg, he caught both my arms because I hooked his leg. And he caught my other one, and he crucifixed me. So I usually keep this here. I'll use it to throw the arm off. But once I'm on the side of them, I then step over and start going to what's called the referee position in wrestling. So in wrestling, you'll see it. Wrestlers will start down in this bulldog position, and their opponent will come up next to them like this, grab their waist, get their hand on their arm, and it's the starting position. So when I get slammed down, so I went for my double leg, I went to shoot, they sprawled on me and drove me down to the ground. When I pop up, I'm just trying to, they're still centered to me, right? They're sprawling. I'm lifting my hand and my leg, and I'm shooting myself through, and then I'm working myself over to their hip to get control of them on their side. So hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, I'm trying to get out of that sprawl position, and I'm basically starting to try to flank them, right? I'm trying to get to their hip, get towards their back. And then I got to be careful how much of that I do, because I don't want to expose my leg to being attacked, possibly getting a knee bar or what have you. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
I have a question. I did have a question about the shrimping and the double shrimping. So just
okay. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's good. So for the single shrimping, I guess I'm just lying on my back and I'm trying to like push to the side with my feet, but I'm not going very far. So I guess I'm not sure about how exactly is it, like especially with the friction shrimp, how is it exactly that you push your hips out to the side? Do you just like lift your hips, push with your feet, or are you supposed to slide your hips?
So the mechanics of this are, let's say my opponent's going against me. And when I'm shrimping, let's say I'm doing it from a common side control. So I'm on side bottom. This is Austin Feldman. I'm this black bag here. My opponent goes down, he locks his arm in, and his elbow is ideally blocking my hip, and his other arm is holding my head. So he's got control of me like this. This elbow right here, that's my problem. That's what I'm usually shrimping against. So now I'm here, his elbow's right there, which makes my hip not seem to have an exit plan. So I can bridge into him, which he would be on this side of me. I could bridge into him, lift his elbow, and then I could shrimp out. The friction shrimp, which isn't the most efficient, but it doesn't mean, just because it's not efficient doesn't mean it's not practical. There's times you'll do it, you'll just shrimp out. This is kind of me blasting out of a position. And the way it works is my feet will angle slightly away from me. So these are my feet dead on. My feet will ever so suddenly go up to the side. And then from here, I'm going to use, notice both my feet are flat on the ground. Some people try to do this like toes, and then they try to shrimp, and that's why they can't get any push. My feet are flat on the ground, and I'm tilting, and then I'm using that push off this ground to push my hips out. So it's almost, because everybody thinks they're shrimping sideways, which they are, but I'm using my feet to push back like that. So when I'm in that scoot position, I'm scooting backwards or pulling forward. When I'm shrimping here, I have my feet actively on the ground, full, dead straight on, and then I'm going to push my butt out, but I'm going to use my feet and push just away. So that's where my shrimp comes from. The one thing you might be encountering, because I know you joined right before we closed, is body mechanics. So sometimes because you haven't done certain movements, your body has to develop sensitivity and strength in a way that it doesn't quite have, and the coordination comes along. I'm not making excuses, but what I'm saying is what you want to do is you just want to get your feet flat, then you want to get your body tilted, and like I wouldn't even put your feet out to the side. Just keep it straight, tilt yourself, and then slowly extend your legs and make your butt go sideways. And take it super slow. That's the biggest problem with everybody when they're doing things. They want to do it quick. But if I go really slow, feet here, flat, and then push, 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 you'll start to feel where the mechanics are missing, and you'll get your shrimp. Does that make sense? That makes sense?
It's making a little more sense now. I think I'm just going to still have trouble with the actual slow pushing.
What I would recommend, like secondarily to that, do the bridge one. Do the bridge one. Get your hips up off the ground. Act like somebody's in side control on you. So bridge towards them, and then from there, start doing your shrimp like that. So make that space, open your hip up, and then push out, and then go down to that friction one. The friction one's easier. The bridging one is a little more difficult, but I feel like if you take that bridging one, the other one will come all the easier, and they'll kind of complement each other and build up. Sound good? Cool. Any other positions you guys are struggling with? Okay, cool. Go ahead.
When we do whenever we would get on our knees and we'd have to like kind of fall onto them, obviously we're not falling onto them, but I tend to make a ton of noise doing that. Is that because I'm doing it wrong, or?
I would say I don't want, if there's noise coming off of it, that means that there's impact on your knees. An impact over time causes bursitis, it causes inflammation, you're gonna run into issues. So I wouldn't say that it's necessarily wrong, but it definitely could be better. So for me, when I'm in this position, I load up on my hands. I'm in that beast stretch. My weight goes towards my hands. You can see how I'm starting to go forward. And there's a moment where my weight is on my hands and I'm here. So when I go down, what I would recommend to you is just turn. Make sure your hand is nice and solid. And then from there, now see how much more control I have? Because I'm leaning my weight to my hand. It's easier for me to control my hips now. And now my hips can go down softly and I can bend. Because probably what's happening is, and that's the difficulty of this, right? We're moving so quickly, you're trying to keep up with me. And that's why I always recommend people rewatch the videos, go through the motions, because this move specifically right here, if you feel like you're going down too quick, just slow down. Don't even have to follow me. Just put your hand back. And now from here, I'm leaning my weight to my delt, to my arm, strong base, and it's easier for me to push my knees down and get into that bend. Yeah, I would say that's probably all it is. And definitely, like I said, you're doing it right, but if you're getting that impact, like when I do penetration steps, if I keep pushing my knee too hard, I get inflammation, then my knee's all jacked up. We definitely don't want that. So yeah, just take it nice and slow with that hand, and then work into that.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, cool. yeah, guys, let us know. So I know Danny was asking, and I'm always asking. Please feel free to give us feedback. And if you don't want to give us feedback, give it to Ryan. Let us know if classes are too complicated, not giving you enough or whatever. We're never going to be offended. It's, we're still trying to figure this all out. We want to make sure we have the best content going out to you so you can stay sharp and keep developing. And even more so, like, I'm trying to make them a little more advanced just for the people, who've been with us for a while. I want to keep you growing and getting more stuff. But let me know if I'm going too fast. Let me know if it's getting too complicated. I like the individual solo drills. I do them every day. I do an hour of just each one for a minute, totally in an hour. I use my heavy bag, whatever. And even I started to get to this point where I'm like, okay, I want a little more. So I start stringing things together, and it's almost like mock flow rolls or what have you. And that's what I'm trying to introduce a little more into. But let me know if I'm just, going a little too deep too quickly. Like I said, the one big thing I feel like can maybe balance it out is just saying, like, hey, if you don't know how to do the flow, just stick with one move and just rep it, and don't feel like you got to keep up with me. But just that way you guys got those options to do those deeper, harder workouts and then go from there. That makes sense? Cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks for jumping on and doing the workout with us. As I always say, I'm proud of you. Proud of you for putting in the effort and getting off the couch and doing a workout. It was a beautiful sunny day. I did a workout outside and then, did this one inside. And then, as I always say, I love you guys. You're my family. We're here for you. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. And of course, if you guys ever have any like workouts, like specific things you want a jazzercise, let me know. I'll start studying. I'll figure out how to jazzercise. You want to do sweating to the oldies with Richard Simmons? We'll call him up and see if he's willing to undo social distancing. I don't know. We'll do whatever you guys want to do. We want to keep you fresh, keep you happy. It's just our pleasure to do these workouts. Otherwise, hydrate, stretch, take care of yourself, and we will see you. I think Sunday we're going to have our MMA class with Danny, and then Monday you'll be back with me, and we'll keep rolling and going. Sound good? All right, have a good night. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Austin.
You're welcome.